By the way, before we jump into this, like and subscribe. Editing me, put that at the beginning. But yeah, moving back on to chronological stuff, I think this was the next art piece I did after that one. And this one is an October piece for Slenderman. He's searching around for Slenderman in the woods, which is why it's so foggy. And this original picture wasn't actually that foggy, and I'm really happy with how the fog came out, mostly. Some of the fog is a little iffy, especially if you look towards the edges or like towards the bottom. There's like a weird layer that you can see, but other than that, the fog on the sides and the fog kind of around this area, it's just really clean. I like it a lot. I hate this line right here. I hate that. But like the fog kind of going down and over the hill. I'm really happy. This was also one of my first attempts at like arms interacting with each other and his hand interacting with his face. Because I do not know how to draw, and I've been kind of teaching myself through this type of stuff. Next up was Crumpet. And this is a concept for a D&D character that I made for a one-shot and used for half of the one-shot, and then we never finished it, and I just kind of drew this up in like 10 minutes. Not even. I think it was like 60 seconds or something like that, but I just kind of threw it together, and I was really happy with it, so I kept it around. And then in that same vein, I drew this picture, which I wanted to kind of rope back around to the concept of the headache swirl from the first picture I ever drew, like the first attempt on the real backgrounds. And at the time, I was very sick, so I drew a picture to kind of encapsulate that, and that was what it was. It took me like 5 minutes. This is the hard part, is like figuring out what order I drew this shit in. I think it was this one. This was the next one I did, which was for my channel background for a little bit. And then I liked the concept of this, and I kind of liked the way the lighting came out. So I went back and I redid it like this, which I thought was a lot better, and I liked it a lot better. I liked the way it came out a lot better. It was pretty cool. And then after that one, I think was the point in time where I decided to rebrand and redraw my character design. And this was the original concept for them. But then that kind of got replaced, and I stopped drawing for a really long time. And the concept was replaced with this, technically. This was a commission that I had done. This wasn't me. I don't draw this good. But this was a commission I had done to kind of explain the concept of them glowing with emotion and, their ponytail kind of changing with mood and stuff like that I wanted to kind of convey. They didn't get the eyes right, but I'm not upset at them. I don't even use this anymore. But I think I'm trying to remember what the first thing I drew with this new concept was. I knew I drew this one before the new concept took over. This one was a collab with someone that I know personally. This was their monster design, and this was their original picture of the monster design in the description of the monster design placed onto the phone, which I thought was pretty cool. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this one. I think it came out alright. It kind of gets the point across how they're supposed to be like kind of marble looking. I don't know. Oh, right. It was this one. This was the next one because I wanted to kind of get the design down and draw the design properly. So I did a practice sheet of the different moods and the different colors for the different moods and stuff like that. And there's a couple things that I left out unintentionally that I didn't really do good. But there was also some things I was really happy with. I really like the boyfriend sprite. It's really funny to me. I love the Kingdom Hearts reference right here. Love it. So cool. And this kind of solidified the idea of these, which are like the runic pieces of paper that he uses to capture the ghost, basically. Because at this point in time, I was doing a lot of world building for this concept. I really liked the idea of them using a baseball bat, but I was like, how does that make any sense if they're hunting ghosts, you know? If they have to hit a ghost with a baseball bat, it's not gonna do nothing. So, instead of it being a normal baseball bat, basically, at the handle, at the grip right here, it started off as just normal baseball bat stuff, you know, black handle, that type of thing. But it grew into this concept, which was a talisman being placed on the bat and wrapped around it to give the bat the ability to interact with the ghosts and stuff. And that's what this picture was. This picture was later on, though. This was when I was better at drawing the Blizzard character. But I think the first drawing that I did after the big mixed drawing, there was a bunch of different concepts. It was this one, I think. And this one I was really happy with. I wanted this to be the channel banner, but it wasn't possible. This literally looks like a fucking album cover. I love him just posed up in the middle of nowhere, kind of like looking off into the distance. And I was getting more used to drawing hoodies and drawing legs and stuff like that. I love the concepts here. And then we kind of moved on to this one, which this one was directly drawn with inspiration from a Friday Night Funkin' mod. Let me find this. Yeah, this one. Okay, so this was the sprites for Boyfriend, and I saw like him stanced up like this, and I was like, oh damn, that's how I want to draw. So I used that as a direct reference to draw this, which is honestly pretty obvious if you kind of look at it. But half of this stuff was directly referenced to that, and I was kind of getting used to the concept of drawing stuff like this, and I never knew how to draw legs properly and how to draw like the pants properly, and that kind of solidified how I draw my pants now. No way it was Gustbuster. I don't think it's Gustbuster. This one is cool though. I love the concept of this so much. It's just living wind, living fog that is straight up attacking the town, like the whole town, and Blizzard has to come in to kind of stop it. And I love the concept of it so much. I love the way it came out. It's so cool. And then I think Gustbuster, I did Glow Up Like Damn, and then it was Return of Funny Man. This was him coming back and me bringing back the concept of him, but now he has a sleeveless shirt. It's purple, a little bit of different design, that kind of stuff. Overall, kind of the same though. Then I think it was this one. I don't know. I think this one was a pretty late concept, but I love the idea of like a downward angle looking through his legs, and it's just some fucking dumbass mannequin posed up. Because the idea of this monster is a mannequin that is alive and runs around during the nighttime and runs around freely, and like when it gets out during the daytime, it's like asking people normal questions, but it's terrifying because it's a mannequin and it's not, moving its mouth at all. So it'll like walk up to you all stiff and shit and be like, do you have directions to the mall? But like the mouth doesn't move, the head doesn't move, it's just a fucking mannequin walking around. And I love that concept so much. And it like drew a face on itself with a marker. Like, I love it. And stuff like that is why I wanted to make this video, because there's so many concepts like that that you would never even pick up on unless I explain them, because I don't do any favors, I don't explain any of this shit. It's just in the pictures. And then I think the next one, it was Swimming in the Goo. I wanted to do an experiment with how they would look when they're sad, so I had this idea of them kind of like being depressed in a pool, and I was also feeling pretty down on myself at the time, so it worked out, and I was able to kind of express myself through this picture, and it helped a lot. Then I think it was Gustbuster, because Gustbuster was after I had already established that for the pants, kind of having that style. And then I think it was Doppelganger next. I love this one. This one is so cool. The idea for this is they're stuck in a liminal space that shows you what you're most scared of, and Blizzard has the fear of being hollow and not being really a person, just kind of floating through the days and not having like a purpose or people that care about them, and being basically a zombie. So to kind of bring that to life, the version of them on the other side is all fucked up and dead inside, and it's so cool, and Oh man, these are some of the things. This is why I wanted to make this video, so I could just talk about these stupid concepts I have that are like really cool to me. And then it was 7-Eleven Ghoulio. This was the concept of a twin ghoul, which is just a ghost that's stuck to another ghost because they loved each other or whatever. You know, like lovers quarrel type of shit, or like Romeo and Juliet. So they're just stuck together forever, and they're taking care of it for the 7-Eleven. You know, they're just trying to go get gas or whatever, but then this just happened to be there, so they were like, I mean, I'm here. Then I drew McDonald's. This was actually before I had the drawing of them with the pants established. The pants were not established at this point. This was before that. This is actually older than that one. And this was my first kind of test with liminal spaces. I like the idea of Blizzard going to a McDonald's in the back rooms and it's them. It's them at the fucking counter, passed out and like kind of desaturated because they've been working to death and they're in like the McDonald's uniform. It's stupid, but I love that idea. Like, imagine if you went to a backrooms McDonald's. Like, you're stuck in the backrooms, you're wandering around, you find a McDonald's and you're working there. That's gotta fuck you up. Then the next one was Blizzard in a Blizzard because I wanted to mess around with wind physics on their hair, and that's exactly what I did. Then after that was. I want to say this was the next one, but I do not remember. This one was Big Coat season was starting, and I wanted to try that. And I also wanted to have them interacting with the environment more, because I feel like they don't do that enough. Also, we're running out of time, so I'm going quickly. Listen, there's a lot. We're going to break this up into 2 videos. We are. So this is already the second half of this. Because there's a lot left. There's a lot left to kind of talk about, but we got to go a little bit quickly here. So then after that one was Pumpkin Field. I wanted to do a test of them with their hair down. So I drew them in a pumpkin field walking around with a flashlight that barely works. And that's the end of that one. That's all there is to it. I would like to think that they're looking for Funny Man, but I don't know if I want to combine those canons yet. And after that one, it was Tiny Man Gas Station. This is the idea of shadow people kind of watching you at the gas station, and they're like, "What the fuck?" You know, they're trying to get gas and go home and stuff, but they're looking out in the distance and seeing like a crowd of people that's all like red fog, and it's kind of just floating in the air and stuff. I love it. The concept is it's so simple, but it's so cool. Then I think after that one, I'm pretty sure it was this one, Wall Time 1. This one is the concept of them being in the back rooms, and for them, their perception is fine, and they're standing upright, but they're on the walls. And so, like, you know, the floor is technically the right wall. That's the way the back room is built, but I wanted to fuck up the perspective to kind of really drill the point home. And I think it came out really well. I love the hand here and like the way the legs look. I'm really happy with this one actually. I'm happy with all of my recent stuff, honestly. Then after that one, it was this one. This was a picture I drew while waiting for one of my friends to be done doing something. I think we were going to play Marvel Rivals or something like that. But the concept for this one is it's a restaurant that you go into, they take you order, you sit down, and then it slowly fills with gas until you pass out and die. So basically, they're sitting there forever, just waiting on the stuff, and it's like slowly killing them, like slowly, very, very slowly. Like you can't even tell that there's gas in there. Just the way that this picture looked was all like kind of weird and almost like 3D glasses-y. Like there's a weird effect going on there, and I wanted to play into that with the concept, so that was kind of how I tied that in, which is why they look so tired. Then after that one, I think it was Don't Forget to Breathe. This one is pretty cool. I like the way it came out a lot. Just sitting there. And I love the duality of Don't Forget to Breathe, but it's super fucking foggy. I like that. A lot of these names are very just, I just put the thing down, but you know, like all these names, I just write it instantly. I don't really think about them, but sometimes I write it and I'm like, ooh. Next was Rough Night. This was my first attempt at drawing blood, and I wanted to mess around with the concept of like different colored kind of 3D glasses effects, kind of messing with Blizzard instead of just the background. So that's what I did there, and I think it came out all right. I like the idea of it being, you know, kind of the different colors of the mood they're feeling. You know, it's like purple because they're kind of sad and in pain, but also it's like orange because they're happy that they're done with the thing. Next up in line after Rough Night was Barely Made It Home. This one, I'm really happy with how this came out. This one was actually pretty recent. This was me drawing a ton, and I wanted to do another blood concept. I wanted to get more used to drawing blood on a character, so I was like, okay, let's designate 3 points of pain and draw blood as if they were attacking and being attacked by something and are now kind of recovering. So I settled on the head, the leg, and the stomach. And they're using a healing rune thing to heal their stomach one. The head is bleeding. You can see it in the back and in the front. And their leg is all fucked up and they're dragging blood behind them. I love it. It's so cool. Then next up after Barely Made It Home was Cozy. This one was them waiting upstairs for the ghost to become active while drinking a little bit of apple cider. Because why not? And I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with how the arm came out, like resting on the tail. It's so good. Then next was fog templating, I think. No, this was like right after I did the leg thing, the concept for the pants. I also use Sans from that same Friday Night Funkin' mod to kind of be the reference for the big coat. Then I did this one, which I like a lot. I really like the rotoscoped one. I'm really happy with it. It's so... I think after that one it was Don't Forget to Breathe. I don't remember the exact order I did these in. But then after that it was Look Cool, Feel Cool, which was the concept. This was actually before I did the pants thing too. This was like right when I started doing that. I was messing around with shapes of stuff and I wanted to do a trench coat. I also did an alt where the trench coat is darker to make it look a little bit better, because the person that suggested the trench coat doesn't care about bright colors and stuff, so you know, I fixed it. I think Camping in the Woods was after Barely Made It Home, and I like this one a lot. You know, they're sitting there waiting for a ghost to show up, but the ghost is watching them the whole time. They're just roasting marshmallows like nothing's going on. I like that a lot. Then I did this one because I was feeling like a little bit down that day, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to draw them in like the same position as Chris on the elevator, but I didn't look up Chris on the elevator, so it's not the same. It's not the same pose, but I kind of wanted to capture that essence where Chris has like, I'm talking about Chris from Deltarune, by the way. Chris has like the shadow blocking their eyes and stuff, so I wanted to do that too. And I like that concept. I also like the concept of the rune making the bat glow, so that's what I started doing from that point on. Then after that one was Little B. It's Little B. It's them when they're a little tiny. And I kind of mixed the colors of sadness and being excited for this one, because the concept for this is they had like a hard upbringing and they had basically nothing, and they were running through abandoned houses and shit. And this is like their birthday, but they just found this. Like, they don't live here. This isn't their house. They just found this stuff and got lucky. So they're happy that they found all the birthday stuff on their birthday with the birthday gift on their birthday. But they're not happy that, you know, they're homeless and such. And I know I'm explaining these concepts in like the simplest, stupidest way possible, but I hope it's coming across in a way that is as cool as it is in my brain, because in my brain I'm like, oh, this is fire. But then after that one, it was Halloween House Call, which I did a couple days ago on October 1st. This was the very first drawing for Spooky Month. I want to do a couple Halloween themed ones, and I like the idea of Blizzard out on Halloween in their Rousey outfit, because they would go as Rousey for Halloween. Don't even at me. And then, like, you know, someone's like, hey, I hate to bother you, but this shit's going on right now at Halloween. and you know he's like a block away or whatever, so he goes and takes care of it. I love that idea. I think that's basically caught up to right now, because I think those are the latest ones. Barely made it home. Then last night I drew this one and I drew this one. So this is where we're at right now. This is where the art is heading, and I'm really happy with this one. I'm like super happy with this one. I love the idea of them like getting kind of pissed off because they're fighting this thing, and it's like, you know, it's a wind monster, so it's like moving around the place, kind of shape-shifting and blocking their attacks and shit. But the concept for this kind of fog monster has like an orb of life, and they've already punched the orb once. You know, it's pretty weak. They weakened it a little bit, and they're just going at it now, trying to really actually punch this thing. And I love that idea so much. I love it. Like, you know, you can just imagine them like swinging at it while it's dodging them and shit. Like, the concept there is pretty cool. And I don't animate, but if I did, you know it'd be going crazy. And I like the glow that I got going on. Overall, it's pretty nice. But I forgot to draw the ponytail, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed at myself for that. And then this one was the other one that I drew, which was literally just them walking around while drunk. And, like, they're glowing because they're happy. And they got... they got, like, a flower that's also glowing because I wanted to mess around with flowers in their hair and stuff. And we're going to continue to do art stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this 2-part thing that will eventually become a 3-part once we actually have enough art. And if you want a deep dive on all the lore for Blizzard, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make that video. If we get even one comment asking for that, I will do a deep dive on their lore. But with that being said, that's the end, and I'm gonna go bye. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. Okay, Fly, get off of my mic, please. Thank you.